present I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, the antidote to panel games. At the piano is Colin Sell and your chairman is Humphrey Lyttelton.
Hello and welcome to I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue with our special Millennium Celebration edition. You join us for a second week at the Greenwich Theatre in the heart of London's officially designated Millennium Borough. But there's more to the town than just selling hastily printed souvenir tea towels. Greenwich is also famous for its long association with literature. Christopher Marlowe frequented many local taverns and was supposedly killed in one during a brawl with friends over the bill for dinner. The theory that Marlowe didn't actually die but assumed a new identity as William Shakespeare is supported by the line from Twelfth Night, "If music be the food of love, play on. But there's no way I had a prawn cocktail starter." Local residents have included the intellectual and gardener John Evelyn. As a reward for his many works, Evelyn was honoured by James II when he became Keeper of the King's Privy Seal, a position made necessary by the peculiar 17th century habit of keeping an amphibious mammal in the toilet. As Greenwich is situated on the very line of longitude where the new year will begin, we feel honoured to be invited here to record this, our special second Millennium show. And I'm especially pleased to be able to introduce the original cast who appeared to celebrate the first one. They are on my left, Barry Cryer and Graeme Garden. And on my right, Tim Brooke-Taylor and Andy Hamilton. And eager to be my millennial right hand, please welcome the delightful Samantha. Okay, let's get on. The sooner we start, the sooner we get out. The first round is all about the importance to a song of its lyric. What, you may ask, happens to those many songs that fail miserably to entertain for want of a decent lyric? They end up on the Rolf Harris Greatest Hits album, that's what. Right, I shall provide the teams with the first part of a song lyric, which I'll ask them to complete. And Graeme, you can start this one. Could you complete the following? Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wild enough to keep...
me teaching geography.
Jim, here's one for you. Wake up, Maggie, I think I've got something to say to you.
You're not Prime Minister anymore!
Barry, raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages wrapped up with string, these are...
just a few of the entries for the Turner Prize.
Andy, Moon River, wider than...
Moon Bridge. It's a joke for engineers, that one, mostly.
Graeme, picture yourself in a boat on a river with tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Somebody calls you, you answer quite slowly.
This is good stuff.
Right, here's some for any of you to finish off. Nobody does it better, makes you feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it quite as good as you, baby, you're...
Tim Brooke-Taylor, I presume. I can dream.
I gave a letter to the postman, he put it in his sack. Bright and early next morning he brought my letter back. She wrote upon it,
I'm having these traced, you bastard.
I'm Henry VIII I am, Henry VIII I am, I am.
Of course you are, Mr. Cryer. Now blow into this, will you?
By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remembered
that wrong turn-off we took at Peterborough.
This can't be as good as I think it is. Let's move on anyway with Pick Up Song, where the teams sing along to a selection of classic discs played on the gramophone. As is our habit, Samantha and I spent a few hours in the record library earlier and enjoyed a good long route in the singles section. Now, in DJ mode, Samantha is poised at the turntable with her 45s beautifully stacked and ready to spin for the teams. At my signal, she'll reduce the volume to nothing, but the team should continue singing, the object being to stay in time with the music. If on its return teams you're within a gnat's crotchet of the original, I'll be awarding points, and points mean prizes. And usually at this point, I turn to the theatre audience and I say, what do points mean? Prizes! But I'm not going to do it on this occasion. I don't think it's fair to get a whole room full of people making complete prats of themselves. This week's prize is guaranteed to delight every sweet-toothed Muhajirin fundamentalist. It's this Kalashnikov trifle. Tim, I'd like you to start by accompanying Robbie Williams singing Millennium.
And we're praying that it's not too late. Millennium say that we are players, some say that we are pawns, but we've been making money since the day that we were born. Gotta slow down, because we're low down. Run around in circles, live a life of solitude, till we find ourselves a partner, someone to relate to. Then we'll slow down before we falls down. Before we fall down.
Andy, now, would you please accompany Soft Cell... What's this? Soft Cell. Never heard him call that before. Anyway, would you please accompany...
I've got to get away from the pain that you drive into the heart of me. Oh, love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my life for I toss and turn, can't sleep at night. We're sooty when you bloody need it. Once I ran to you, now I'll run from you. This tainted love you've given. Spot on.
Uncanny.
Finally, Barry and Graeme, it's a duet for you. Would you please accompany Sonny and Cher singing I Got You, Babe?
Well, I don't know if that's all true, 'cause you got me and baby, I got you. Babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
They say our love won't pay the rent. Before it's earned, our money's all been spent.
I guess that's so. We don't have a pot. Well, not both of us, but at least I'm sure of all the things we got. Babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
I got flowers.
Yeah.
It's time for an old favourite now called Sound Charades. It's based on the TV show Give Us a Clue, where the teams mimed the titles of a book, play or film against the clock. And who will ever forget the show's American tour, including their special White House performance? That was the legendary occasion when Eunice Stubbs, her hands going like tiny steam hammers, scored maximum points for pulling off all the president's men. In under 90 seconds. In the original, the teams weren't allowed to speak. What a glorious notion. In our version, the teams do. OK, Tim and Andy, you're to start, please, and your title will shortly be displayed to the audience via the Millennium Fund Finance laser display board. And here's the mystery voice for listeners at home.
Kiss of the Spider-Woman. Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
Right, you're guessing this one, Barry and Graeme. Off you go, Tim and Andy.
It's 5 words, and it's a play and a film.
You know, you're a very attractive man.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
No, you are. And ever since...
yeah.
Ever since you contacted me on my website, I've been looking forward to our getting together.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. How are we going to start?
Should we start off with a little peck?
Okay.
Very nice. Now my turn.
Do you think you could just move that leg, please? And that one, and that one, and the 3 others over.
OK, now, Barry and Graeme, you've got to start guessing. Let's start the stopwatch. OK.
Right. This web, was it
Web.
a cobweb?
Yes. I think you might be warm.
Might be in spider country or not.
A lot of legs.
No.
A lot of legs.
Legs. Spider legs.
Kiss.
Did it?
Kiss.
Of the spider woman.
Right, your turn, Barry and Graeme. Your title's now being exhibited on the laser display board. And here again is a mystery voice for listeners at home.
Dinner ladies. Dinner ladies.
TV series.
2 words.
Carry on.
Hamish, you'll have had your tea.
Oh, well, no, but...
Will you join me in a wee dram?
I'd prefer a whiskey dram if it's all the same to you, Dougal.
And a toast
Yay.
to the ladies.
The ladies. Except for wee Jessie.
Oh, not wee Jessie.
Oh, no, she's always on at me. Dinna put your hand on my knee. Dinna fiddle with my bra strap. Oh.
Point taken, Hamish. The ladies,
Aye.
except for wee Jessie.
Aye.
And Moira.
Moira!
Oh, dinna poke your tongue in my ear. Dinna point that Polaroid at me.
A Polaroid.
She has an uncertain grasp of language.
The ladies, then.
Except for wee Jessie and Moira.
Cheers.
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 Is it dinner ladies?
No.
Just let me switch off the stopwatch. The teams are now going to play a game based on greetings card messages. At first sight, this may seem rather a thin premise, but never forget that from tiny acorns, mighty sycamores grow. OK, teams, I'd like you please to suggest occasions which are in need of special greetings cards, together with the appropriate messages they might contain. And Graeme, will you start, please?
You've got a new girlfriend. I wish you good luck. I hope most sincerely that she's a great friend.
I really know just how you feel when your hamster died, fell asleep at the wheel.
I've got one here. It's quite a conventional thing. It's to a bride. Have a wonderful honeymoon. And it reads, hip hip hurrah, hip hip hooray, trilly trilla, whoopee wahey, gosh golly wow, yahoo and how, hip hip hurrah, hip hip hooray, and that's how you fake an orgasm.
Going into hospital. All your friends, they wish you well, and through me they send their loves. We all agree you're in safe hands unless you see some rubber gloves.
All the best from me and Viv. Who'd have thought it? Only 2 weeks to live.
I've got a very specific one here.
Oh, yes.
It's congratulations on getting a job at the florist's, even though you're colourblind card. And it says, roses are red, violets are blue. And that's it, I think.
At Easter time, I hope you have a visit from Easter Bunny. But I shall send the lads around unless you pay the money.
I've got another quite specific one. It's commiserations on being Jeffrey Archer. It's quite a limited market, although millions of us could send it. It reads, it's not your fault, Jeff. You do your best, but you just get crosser and crosser. Because no matter how hard you try to please... we still think you're... Actually, that's not the most charitable card that Hallmark do, I feel.
Happy vasectomy today. All I can say is snip, snip, hooray!
I've got a parental one. It's from a dad. It's congrats on losing your virginity. Now's the time to be jolly and merry. At last you've gone and lost your cherry. It was at a party that you achieved coition in the room where they put the coats. It's tradition. You were drunk, so was she. It's always the same. You can't remember her face. You don't know her name. You just use her as a sex object, as your plaything for fun, and all I can say is I'm proud of you, son.
Now it's time to play the game called Mornington Crescent. But first, I noticed that sitting next to the BBC listener reaction shredding machine, there's a letter from a Mrs. Trellis of North Wales. She writes, Dear Miss Adie, if any listeners are fed up with those endless trails that keep appearing on the wireless, why not wipe them off with a damp cloth and put down slug pellets to stop the little blighters coming back. Oh, and there's a P.S. Amongst the many current great attractions, watch out for a book called The Almost Complete I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. Your many listeners will laugh like a drain just to hear it's been published. Okay, now on with the game, which in celebration of the bright new future promised by the dawn of a new millennium, we'll play a version popular at the time of the last millennium. Surprisingly, the game in the time of King Ethelred the Unready was little different from today's ancient standard rules, though, as you'd imagine, the reverse diagonal was seldom applied in consecutive play. However, locations east of Shoreditch were liable to incur the infamous Danegeld penalty. Is that clear, everyone? Right, let's start. Tim, will you start?
Shoreditch. King Street.
I'm like...
Just relax.
Well, we play this at home, but it always causes rows. These are my thinking noises. Tufnell Park.
Good. No, that is a reverse, but no, we won't push it because it's,
No.
you know.
Is it?
But I mean,
It's not a reverse diagonal.
Yeah, it
you
is.
see, well,
Don't get
Tufnell there is.
Should I do it again? Have I mucked the game up?
No, you haven't. You got it perfectly right. They're just panicking.
and I suppose in fairness, if it's seldom used in consecutive play, it's not never, so he's allowed to make that move.
Thanks.
But it was near the edge.
It was very, very
Don't listen
near,
to this.
near the
It's a
edge.
ploy.
I've just noticed Mrs. Trellis doesn't put an address on the letter.
You looking for a pen pal?
Carry on, Graeme.
Okay, we accept Andy's move.
Yeah.
It's not up to you to whether you accept
Exactly.
it or not. I'm the chairman.
You tell them, Hump. Take control for goodness sake.
Adjudication then, Hump.
Well, do you accept it?
I hate to be the cause of all this unpleasantness.
It's not
No,
you.
no. Please, you're very welcome.
I'll accept it because it's his first time.
Yeah, okay. Battersea.
Oh.
Northolt.
Socky Hall Street.
just being frivolous now.
No.
No.
Think about it.
Balls Pond Road.
Yeah. Oh, they all say that, don't they? Balls Pond, Turnham Green.
Balls Pond, Turnham Green.
It's logical.
I know you were a doctor, but...
I didn't mean, by the way, I didn't mean, you know when you stop at service stations and they got that thing for the kids, the Balls Pond, I didn't mean that. Balls Pond,
no.
fine.
No, it's all right. You're overreacting now. Just relax.
I'm just very nervous.
Deep breaths.
It's
I
coming
mean,
out.
I've known people leave the postcode off, but the whole verse is ridiculous.
Regent Street, north.
Seven Sisters Road.
Careful. You've got to keep it the
What
reverse
was it again,
diagonal.
Val? Give it again.
Seven Sisters Road.
Oh, Seven Sisters. Oh, you're okay.
Yes.
West Brompton.
Shoreditch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Back there.
Shoreditch.
Mornington Crescent.
Yes.
Well done, Andy.
It says here, I say what fun. Well, now it's time for us to continue with a musical round called Swany Kazoo. This combines the rasping buzz of the kazoo with the soothing ululation of the swanny whistle. The juxtaposition of two such disparate instruments may seem an odd choice, but in fact they're as natural a combination as peaches and cream, oysters and champagne, or diarrhea and vomiting. Is there no limit to the unlikely combinations that can be put together in the name of entertainment? Yes, there is. Colin Sell and a piano. Actually, for a long time we were all very impressed by Colin's amazing musical ear, until we discovered he was picking up Radio 2 on his deaf aid. We'll start with you, Barry and Graeme. Your song is Do-Wah Diddy Diddy, and it's to feature Barry Cryer on kazoo and Graeme Garden on swanny whistle. Tim and Andy, your turn. Your song is Anything You Can Do, and it's to feature Andy Hamilton on kazoo and Tim Brooke-Taylor on the swanny whistle. Well, I notice it's very nearly time to end the show, but not before we fit in a round of Greek Film Club. Teams, I'd like your suggestions, please, of film titles likely to appeal to an audience of Greeks. Andy, will you start, please?
Well, Greece, obviously.
Homer Lone.
The good, the kebab, and the ugly.
9.5 Greeks.
4 Musketeers?
Casablanca? Now, I should explain that. Not a lot of people know that Humphrey Bogart is actually reading a book of old Greek mathematics in one scene. And what he actually said was, here's looking at Euclid.
The Wizard of Cos?
American Pie. Thank you. A maths teacher, thank you.
Get your mum out the audience, Tim. That's just embarrassing me.
Calamaras east of Java.
Which was the film with that great outboard motor sequence when you said, the boat was actually driven by the inventor of the outboard motor, George Papadopoulos.
Little Doric. Got a cast here starring Corinth Redgrave and Brad Pitter.
Bring me the heel of Achilles, Garcia.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as the millennium bug of fate breeds in the sewage-eating cattle of destiny, and the millennium hype of eternity bores the arse of doom off old Father Time, I notice it's the end of the show, and indeed the series. We'll be back for a special festive edition of the programme on Christmas Day. In the meantime, it's goodbye from the teams, Samantha, myself, and the fine folk of Greenwich. Goodbye.
Barry Cryer, Graeme Garden, Andy Hamilton and Tim Brooke-Taylor will be given Silly Things to Do by Humphrey Lyttelton, with Colin Sell setting some of them to music. The programme consultant was Ian Pattinson, and the producer was John Naismith.